any questions on the topic or what we've done? Anything that you'd want to explore a bit more or a bit less? Seems it's kind of the three of us. So anything you want to?
I'll let Beth answer first.
I was just wondering, other than lots of practice, how do you increase your breath capacity? Like, other, I suppose it's just practice, isn't it?
That's a good question, Beth. So there's a number of sides to that question, answers to that question. The first one is practice will improve it. Just practice of the actual skill of taking in more breath and managing and controlling your breath. But also there's things that work in tandem with that. So the more relaxed, firstly, the more you get rid of your tension, because tension is like, if you imagine your lungs like a balloon, and your muscles, your body sits around that, and the more tense you are, like inside and in your shoulders, in your chest, in your back, and all the internal muscles, the more they kind of stop that balloon from expanding as you inhale and exhale. So like a lot of people who are very tense, very emotional, that's why when you're very emotional, it's hard to breathe. Like, your breathing goes like that because of all the tension. And so, and you don't realize that in normal day-to-day kind of activity of breathing until you go to take a deep breath and you feel the pressure that you're fighting against. So the more you can, this is practice too a little bit, but it's practicing what we do in System of releasing and relaxing tension. But the more you start to relax, and it'll happen just through doing System, but you can consciously find it as well. The more you can relax all of the muscles around your chest, shoulders, back, then the more space you'll have for lung capacity. The other thing that you'll find is, if you're talking about in terms of, is that kind of what you were talking about, Beth?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was really interesting. Yeah, I never thought of it as tension being what stops you, but yeah, that really makes sense.
Yeah, and so that tension can be physical in terms of your muscles, but it can also be emotional in terms of like the obvious things like fear, anger, sadness, any of the deep, heavy emotions, the heavy ones that sit in your body, or even desire, like an ego, like a desire to do something really well, and you get frustrated with yourself, that you can't do it as well as you hoped. So that will cause tension in the body, because tension runs, that emotion runs straight to tension. So that too. And then the final thing is, another thing is, when you're talking about that idea in movement, so if you're talking about endurance, or if you're running or walking or doing push-ups or sit-ups or whatever, two things. The less you can use your muscles in that activity, the easier your breathing is going to be, and the longer you last, the less energy you're using, but the less you fight against your own tension coming from the movement to get the breath in, if that makes sense. But also, the better your breathing skill, the lighter your breathing gets, the more it'll find the spaces and the gaps between your tension. So those two things can run together. So like, if I work hard and try and breathe hard, the two things will clash, and it'll stop my breath. But even if I work hard but breathe lighter and softer, it's easier to get a fuller breath. But if I can work hard with less tension and breathe lighter, then that's the best, if you can do it. So like, you have you don't really, it's all the stuff we do. So the easiest answer is, yeah, it is just more practice in the things, the skills that we try and get, and then things. But it's a good question, because it's good to know sometimes what to look for and where to put your focus.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that was a great answer. Thank you. That's really helpful.
Maybe, what I might do, Beth, is I might write a little blog on it, and I had a question, and then you'll have it in paper.
Yeah. Thank you.
Would you add anything, Phil? You've been doing this a long time now.
Yeah, I was going to say that having done it for quite a while now, one thing I really do like is that we do I do, try to do 3 sessions a week.
Yeah.
And it's quite nice actually doing the same thing over those 3 lessons, because, you sort of fine tune yourself over the week, and you recognize things on the second time that you didn't in the first time, and likewise in the third time. So it's a really nice way of doing it. But to me, it's a bit like learning a language or playing music or something. It's something that you need to do regularly, little and often, rather than having a big bash once a month or something.
Yeah.
And that awareness then takes you into being able to practice it during the day in everyday activity. So I can find myself just letting everything go, just on one out breath. Like we do at the start of the class or with the class, whatever. I find that it's much easier now to take it into everyday life.
Yeah. That's brilliant, Phil. Yeah, and I find that too. Doing 3 of the health classes a week. You kind of, like, for me, it's slightly different. I kind of accentuate things slightly differently as I go through the week. But also, you figure things out for yourself, or you catch the flow of things a bit more fully as you go through the week. So yeah, I find that too.
And the other thing, I think it was Vlad who said once something like, practice the things that you can't do, not the things that you can do. And that's quite nice in a way, because it's a sort of self-exploration, these classes. That you realize what you can't do.
Yeah.
Like doing the sit-ups or doing the leg raises on with a full breath on. It's quite tricky.
Yeah.
And you realize, I need to do something to be able to do this. And that's why I find that, the regular practice and the repeated sessions makes it slightly easier each time.
Yeah, and I think the point you made about as soon as you can, finding ways to bring it into everyday life. It's what's the famous quote about by the concert pianist about, if I miss a day's practice, I notice it. If I miss 2 days practice, my wife notices it, and if I miss 3 days practice, the whole world notices it. And if you can kind of bring it into we have the training sessions where you kind of learn a little bit and push yourself a little bit, but you're then practicing those skills because you can all day. It's basically breathing and moving system, and like having a body awareness and body attention to keep yourself as relaxed and comfortable and at ease as possible in whatever situation you're in. You can practice that all the time, and kind of trying to live in that state as much as you can. It's really, wonderful in it. What Michael and Vladimir have created is wonderful in its simplicity of some really important things.
Yeah, and life-changing, in my opinion.
Yeah, me too. So, yeah, is that okay, Beth? Is that great? Okay. All right. So, let's make a start then. Okay, can you both see me here, okay? Great. So, looking at breathing and tension, and as per the question, being able to kind of expand the feeling of easy breath and breath without tension. So, firstly, as nearly always, come to a stand and inhale, exhale a few times, and just take a benchmark of kind of the levels of tension in the body. And And just see how easily the breath comes in, comes out, and kind of how satisfying the breath is. And especially notice the feeling of relaxation as you exhale, and that kind of relaxation kind of falls down through the body. Great, and then take that same breath into a little bit, so notice that breath on a little walk. Just kind of walk around a little bit, forwards, backwards, sideways. Paying the same attention to the breath. And same with a light jog. Great. Okay. And you might find, and lots of people do, that as you walk and breathe, or as you walk and do that breath, you find there's even more space, because movement brings its own relaxation if it's done well, especially like an ambulatory movement. So if you haven't noticed, it's good to notice that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is take in a really full breath and feel yourself fill up with tension. So you're going to inhale through the nose as deep as you can and take in as much as you can, and then just hold it for a few seconds. And feel the tension and the pressure that comes with that. And then relax. Feel that tension and pressure leave. And do that a couple of times. Okay, so on the next one, you're going to do 10 squats on a full breath hold. So you're going to inhale, hold it, do 10 squats, and then when you're done, try and restore, but have that feeling where you expel the tension from your body on those exhales. So in your own time, full inhale, hold it, and then 10 squats. But if you feel a bit lightheaded or dizzy, then obviously stop. And as you recover, notice that the kind of emptying out feeling. When you build up a lot of pressure, and then you kind of let it gush out. And you should start to feel empty in a good way, like a container, like an empty container. Okay, and then come down to a sit. So then we'll do the same thing from the sit-up. So do a couple of breaths first in this position. So see how different it is to take in a full breath in this position. then as soon as you're ready, take in a full breath, hold it and do 10 sit-ups. Thanks, Jeff.
Not too bad.
Right.
Yeah. Diverted from shooting, not being already wheelchair.
Not close. Not close.
Sorry?
Not flooding.
It just said road closed, so
Okay.
nightmare journey. We'll be here at half 6.
Okay, so we're doing the same as we did Tuesday.
Cool.
2 on the sit-ups. So inhale, hold your breath, 10 sit-ups. And again, feel that kind of recovery, feel everything empty out. And then come to a kneeling position. And then inhale. Exhale. Okay, so this time inhale, full hold, and then 10 push-ups. Okay, then come to a lying down position this time. And inhale, exhale. And then inhale, full hold, and do 10 leg raises. But maybe just kind of up to halfway or so, maybe don't go all the way over and touch the floor with this much pressure inside. Okay, so then as you start to recover, we're going to do the same idea with ground movement. So like roll to the side, sit up, sit back, some nice twists, rolls if you can. But we're going to do it on a full breath hold. And notice the tension, the pressure in the body as you move. Notice, how different movement is when you've got this much breath and tension inside the body. And then when you need to breathe again, go into the recovery, but keep moving as you do. So an active recovery. So when you're ready, big inhale. Okay, and then come to a stand. Great. Okay, so then we're going to do that on a breath walk. So we're going to do it in 5. So you go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So you're going to inhale, full hold, same as before, and walk 5 steps. Then jog. Till you recover. Inhale, full hold, 10 steps, jog and recover. Then 20, 25, 30, see if you get to 50, okay, or kind of wherever you get to. You got 40 you need today, Beth? 40, 45? Great. Okay, so, in your own time.
That feels better.
Great. All good? Cool. Okay, so now we'll move to kind of the other end of the scale. Not quite the other end of the scale, but we'll move to an empty breath hold. So breathe in and exhale, and like release your breath, but not to tension. So just exhale and stop before there's any tension. Sometimes it's a good idea to go a bit further and feel where tension comes in, and you stop just before that. So do a couple of those. And then, so now what we're going to do is inhale, exhale, empty hold, and 10 squats. And it's a different feeling this time, less pressure, maybe a bit more tension. And come down to a sit. And so we're going to inhale, exhale, and then just have a hold and just feel what it's like in this position. And restore. And then, when you're ready, inhale, exhale, hey Janet, hold, and then 10 sit-ups. Okay, then come to a kneeling position. Do a couple of empty breath holds, just light ones. And then when you feel good, when you feel ready, you're going to do empty breath hold, 10 push-ups, and then restore. Then, and can I notice how different the recovery is for this, and as opposed to the full breath hold? You know, the difference in how you feel internally in your system. So do a couple of empty breath holds in a supine position. And then when you're ready, empty breath hold, 10 leg raises. So feel that recovery. You know, it's an empty breath hold, so you kind of feel the breath hold a bit quicker on these. There's not so much pressure, but this tension, the fear, the panic comes in quicker. Okay, so now you're going to inhale, exhale, and then move on the ground, and when you need to recover, start to recover, but keep moving. And then, when you're ready, come to a stand. And then we'll do the walk again. So you're going to do, this time on an empty breath hold, so you inhale, exhale, but with that tension, walk 5 steps, recover. Then 10, 15, 20, okay, all the way up to 50 if you can. Okay, enjoy. So we're doing the class we did on Tuesday. Doing the class on Tuesday. We're just on the empty breath holds. Thank you. So, inhale, exhale, but with that tension then we'll 5. Yeah. So we'll recover for 10. And then walk and recover yourself. And now just walk a little bit. Get down, get up, move on the ground, do push-ups, sit-ups, squat, leg raises. But with you finding the right amount of breath in the body. So kind of that middle ground between the two that we did. Try not to even think too much about inhaling or exhaling. Just focus on having the right feeling inside and naturally adjusting your breath according to that. Phil, can you hear me? What's the sound quality like?
Very good today.
I've just changed to a different kind of microphone to this one. Is that quite good sound quality?
Yes, it's really excellent, yeah.
Just tell me what it's like at the other end of the room a sec. How's that, guys? Is it any better? Still good? You can still hear it clearly?
Yeah, very.
Is there much of an echo now? Is there less echo?
There's not really an echo, I don't think.
Great. Okay. Well, that's fantastic.
That sounds really good.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Just make sure Hayden doesn't kick you in the throat.
Yeah, that's it. I have to make sure I don't get hit in that area. Well, it's white, so hopefully it's quite easy to see.
Yeah, that sound is excellent.
Oh, that's brilliant. I think we might have done it. Great, thanks, guys. Okay. All right, and come back to the middle. How was that tonight, guys? Any easier than Monday, Tuesday? Any different?
No, for me that was really good. Tonight it was just really a question of the mental battle at the end of 45 to 50 on the breath hold.
Yeah.
But I overcame that, so that's good.
Great. Thank you, Phil. Beth, how was it for you?
yeah, I found that really enjoyable tonight, actually. Like, I think the first two were just such a struggle. It was hard to enjoy, but I've got like a really good feeling tonight, and I did get up to 50. Well,
Brilliant. Oh, well done you. That's fantastic.
yeah.
Well done. A new benchmark.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Beth. And Janet, how about you? All good? Thanks, guys. Great to see you all.
Yeah.
Yeah, have a lovely weekend and see you next week.
Cheers then. Bye, to
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.
Yeah, bye everybody. Cheers, Beth.
Right, Janet?
Is it possible to watch the second class?
Yeah, of course. See you at the next class. Thanks, Janet.
Congrats on the night.
Thank you. We got there.